American Airlines Center, the microphone is yours for a moment.
And now we move to the other Game 7, a little more surprising one here, between the Phoenix Suns and the Dallas Mavericks. Kind of another series that's been going back and forth. I really thought the Suns would close out here in Game 6, but then Dallas at home had a great Game 6. Obviously you're wearing the Phoenix, the Great Valley jersey. What are your thoughts for Game 7?
I'm not a Suns fan, but I love the jersey, so I had to wear it. And also, living in Texas, I live around a lot of Mavericks fans, so I get to hear a lot of it from them. I think the Suns are going to win this. I'm shocked that Luka and the Mavericks have been able to push it this far. But sort of like what we just talked about with Giannis and the Bucks, the reason that they've been able to win games is because they've been able to get some pretty consistent production in their wins from guys outside of Luka. All of a sudden, Maxi Kleber is having a good night. Jalen Brunson's having a good night. Spencer Dinwiddie's having a good night. Some of these other guys are stepping up. I feel like in Phoenix, at Game 7, this team has been there, done that. They had some, tight performances in last year's playoffs. They've even had some moments of worry against, the Pelicans in that first round. I think they're going to show up big time in front of their home crowd. I expect Devin Booker to have a pretty lights out performance, and I'm just not sure that Dallas is going to be able to really do what they've done this entire series to win their games. And that was they shut down Chris Paul a lot of times. He wasn't able to have a lot of assists. He was getting a lot of turnovers. They were getting consistent shooting from some of their other players. I'm not sure if they're going to be able to do that in this crucial Game 7. I think it's just a lack of experience thing. They honestly just don't have a lot of guys who have been in that sort of moment before where Phoenix, they played in the finals. So they've been there. They've done that. Even Luka, he hasn't had those sort of moments yet in his career because this is the first year in which he's won a playoff series. And they played a Jazz team that just had no perimeter defense whatsoever. So, in the crucial moments, they were still able to get easy buckets. It's been a very entertaining series by far. I could see it going either way, but I think that Phoenix, their experience, their chemistry, their cohesion, their ability to get consistent production from other players like an Ayton or a Bridges, a Chris Paul, somebody else outside of Booker, I think that's going to be the difference maker in this game. Unless somebody like Jalen Brunson can really step up and help Luka. Luka's going to get his, but I'm just not confident enough in the other guys in a high pressure situation that they haven't really been in yet to perform like they need to.
Yeah, I'm going with Phoenix here for Game 7 also. I imagine Chris Paul gets out of this funk he's in. I think I was just trying to look up I heard a stat too where he almost has, I forgot the span games, but in recent games he's almost had as much turnovers as field goals, and which is concerning. So I'm not sure how Phoenix, I'm not too much in the X's and O's here, but I'm not sure how Phoenix exactly helps Chris Paul out because we all know he's a good decision maker, but it just seems like he's been getting swarmed. And credit Dallas's defense. I was sitting here criticizing Dallas going into the playoffs. I don't think they have enough defensive stoppers, but they've been pretty good on that end. Ultimately, it just comes down to can they make Luka. Luka's going to get his no matter what. So I think, like the point you mentioned, can he stop these role players, the Klebers, the Dorian Finney-Smiths? Can you make sure that they don't, get in rhythm and start making shots? What's going to help is that you're in Phoenix. Home crowd always helps with those kind of things. But end of day, I think I just trust Phoenix's. They can't lose. I trust Phoenix's role players a little bit more. To have a little more depth of big man. I would assume, once again, this is a big game. I don't mean to always call him out, but Ayton, he had a solid Game 6, but can we see more of an assertion in Game 7? Booker's been good here and there, and we forget, too, he probably is still dealing with that hamstring injury. Yes, he's playing, but no. I know everyone's like, oh, everyone's injured. I understand, but his injury actually kept him out a little bit and, probably had a longer timeline. But obviously, don't mean to state the obvious here. Chris Paul is a huge part of that offense, and he has to try to avoid getting in foul trouble. I think that's just the biggest thing. He's been in a lot of foul trouble the past few games, so it's hard to establish any sort of rhythm and flow not only for yourself but for your offense. If you're sitting on the bench as Chris Paul, obviously maybe Campaign can make an appearance, but he's a bench guy, so I'm not going to sit here and use that as the key force because he probably, even if he doesn't, they might still win. So, yeah, I want Phoenix to win this one. There is a little bit of bias there. I'm not saying there's bias on yours. I don't know. As a Spurs fan, don't really want to see Dallas succeed. So that's plain and simple. But if they do, I'm not going to sit here and be upset. So, we both got Phoenix winning Game 7, so we'll see what happens. No matter what, though, winner will play the Warriors. Oh, that's the point I wanted to make. I already mentioned to you last night. I just feel like, Phoenix can beat the Warriors, while Dallas, I don't think Dallas can beat the Warriors in a 7-game series. But knowing the pod curse, Dallas is going to win this, and then they're going to play the Warriors and win that, and then I'm going to have a lot of egg on my face. So, whatever.